What's going on, guys? It's Spud here, and welcome to episode 47 of the Roundup. And first of all, before we do anything, we've got a Vegas Legion thumbnail in 2025, yes. Because the main focus of today's episode is talking about Attach, as Attach has retired from Call of Duty. Obviously, there has been no other news really in the Call of Duty stuff. Obviously, we didn't do an episode last week. I'm recording this one on Sunday. I'm probably going to record next week's episode on Wednesday, like when this one comes out. I've got scheduled up, which we're going to talk about later on. But this is obviously going to be a shorter episode than normal. It's probably only going to be about a 20-minute roundup because all we've really got to talk about is Attach retiring. We're going to watch a bit of the documentary and react to that. And the other thing is obviously we're going to talk about the future of the roundup because there is a possibility. At this moment in time, I'm 50-50 if we're going to do any more roundup after EWC. It could end. Um, this is a decision that I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. Um, but this is something that I have been thinking about and we're going to talk about in a bit more detail than normal. So rather than just at the start of the episode, once we've gone through the attached stuff, we'll talk about that and then that will be the end. It is going to be a pretty short episode today. Um, because obviously I wanted to get to episode 50 for Champs review, Champs special. So I believe that I've worked out that if 47 comes out on Wednesday, then 48, then 49. But we'll talk about that when we get to it because we're just going to talk about Attach now. First of all, I'll do like the episode if you enjoy it. Honestly, I do really enjoy still making the roundups. I hope people don't think that. Obviously, the last episode did flop in terms of like the last like 10 episodes we'd had of the roundup before this one. All were getting over 40 views. This one only got 31 for a major review, which is a bit disappointing, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, let's just get straight into all the Attach stuff. So this is the tweet that Attach put out on May the 26th. So this was a couple of weeks ago, nearly now. After 11 years of professional Call of Duty, it's my time to hang the jersey up. The first moment I played this game, I instantly fell in love. Once I learned about game battles and competitive COD, it's my dream to become a professional player. The fact that I was able to live out my childhood dream and meet so many amazing people along the way will be something I cherish for life. Thank you to my parents for the support throughout the years, all of my teammates, and especially the ones I was able to make history with. I'll forever be grateful for the organisations that helped me represent them throughout the years, but especially FaZe and Rocker, where I spent the most time during my career. Most importantly, thank you to all the Call of Duty fans for showing up year after year and supporting the competitive scene to make this dream a reality. Without you, none of this is possible. I've had the honour of winning a world championship and in multiple pieces of the pie throughout the years. Now I'm ready to take a leap of faith and embrace new challenges as I move on to the next chapter of my journey. Thank you for everything, Attach. And obviously some like, Bruce put a nice message, Sam put a nice message, Methods, Clacy, So everyone's really happy for Attach. He had a brilliant career. Obviously won a world championship at 18, which is ridiculous. Um, obviously won the world championship with who were they called? I can't think of what the org was called, but obviously he won it with like Clayster. I'm pretty sure he won it with Clayster. I could be wrong. There's a picture, and I'm pretty sure Clayster was there because I recognised his with the glasses. But yeah, no, Attach had a good career. Now, obviously, he played quite well last year on the Vegas Legion. The reason I chose Vegas Legion, by the way, is because I didn't know which org to go with, which picture of Attach to go with for the thumbnail. So I thought I'm just going to pick a Legion one. Because obviously he was quite good last year on the Vegas Legion. And he deserved to be in the league this year. Obviously, it hasn't worked out. They didn't make champs. He got dropped last stage. In stage 3, sorry, after stage 3. And I think now he will just become a content creator. I think that'll probably be the most likely scenario for Attach. I can't see him being a coach, but then again, obviously he mentored like Geo and players like that last year on the Legion. So maybe that is a possibility still for Attach, but I think that he will just become a content creator. A bit like how Havoc became a content creator after he got dropped by the Mutineers. Um, but yeah, no, Attach had a really good career. And yeah, he obviously won a world championship. He won multiple chips. Very good career. Now, this only leaves Slasher left as the only unk left in who like played early on Call of Duty. Slasher's the last one. Now, obviously, Slasher's had an okay year on the Ravens. He's actually done better than I thought he would have done. But will he be on a roster next year? I hope he is, but obviously he might choose to retire, and then we've got no unks left. Obviously, Clayster, my favourite unk. He obviously retired last year after being dropped for EWC and missing out on champs with the Royal Ravens. And now he's obviously the coach of the Vegas Falcons. So, and I'm assuming that might stay for next year as well, but he might not. Obviously, I think he will stay on the Falcons as a coach, but we'll have to see what happens there. So we're gonna obviously watch a bit of the documentary, um, just so you guys can like have a little watch. Now it's 40 minutes long, so obviously I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, because otherwise we're gonna be here a long time. But we'll just watch a little bit of it and I'll just skip through part of it. So I won't just watch it straight from the start.
This is the best game of all time.
My name is Kim Price, also known as Mom Attach. My son is Dylan Attach Price. I do know that after one day after baseball practice, he went over to his friend's house and his friend introduced him to Call of Duty. He fell in love. He came home and he asked for a game console, and from that point on, he was hooked.
So imagine if she'd said no, and then he never became a pro. Wonder what he'd be doing now.
That's really what started it all. Then I eventually learned about game battles, watched an MLG stream, I think it was like a nationals tournament or something, saw there was teams playing in person, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and that's when I knew I wanted to become a professional Call of Duty player.
Welcome to the 2008 National Championships pregame show.
I was on the Xbox.
They got $8,000 between them. You get $7,500 for top 8 now. Crazy.
Xbox 360 all day, every day. There was even at times when my parents put a thing that had like a timer, and only a certain key could add more time. When that box would stop working, it would automatically shut down the Xbox 360. When I was seeing that number count down to 0, it was the most frustrating times ever. And I would go to school, think about COD, think about ways I could get out of school to go home and play COD.
He had to get his homework done. He had to maintain at least a B average in order for him to play the game after school.
I would try to get myself sick. I would not wear socks when it's cold out, go put my feet on the tile floors, try to do everything I can do to not have to go to school or get out of school. There would be times where I would have a sore throat and I would write on a piece of paper and show my parents and say, I can't speak right now because my throat's so messed up. So I was literally always dedicated to Call of Duty and wanting to play video games.
So you can obviously see, he was obviously allowed to get the games console and stuff like that, and then obviously just became like addicted to it and stuff like that. Obviously, you watched, and he obviously does an interview with Lamar, who obviously coached him this year, but I want to see if there's any like older footage of.
Able to go in big. The two players tied directly to his right. Goes in for the. No, it's not there. Where's he at?
He's on the outside.
Right there. And there it is. Optic, ladies and gentlemen, being eliminated from this tournament. That was a nail biter. That came down.
Oh my god, look at how long. Look at Slasher there as well. That's what I mean. Like Slasher and Attach.
Down to the wire.
Well, that's why I got my first pro placing in Ghost in January. Actually, January 4th. I beat Optic, placed top 8, came back to school, and everything's acting like normal.
After Optic beat me, they eliminated us, and I watched.
I had to get your get back.
Yeah, that's my dog right there. And like that's when everyone started realizing like who Attach was, and that's what it was. It was crazy to watch, how quick the come up was from there.
Comes out.
Yep.
We start teaming in AW.
This is where things get
Oh, that's
interesting.
Zoom, man.
Things get crazy because it's
Transition from there, fast forwarding to what happens next is like a crazy moment in my head to think about.
Up Prophecy get the 6-1 win in a Game 5 search and destroy to beat Denial.
Huge comeback by Prop. Just a grueling series out of them. I mean, we had.
But then getting second in pools led us to playing Optic, winners round 1, and I think that's the best time to play them before they get fired up and start their run. And being able to play them there is potentially what won us that tournament.
Hey guys, it's day 2 at the 2015 Call of Duty Championship presented by Xbox.
This lead out to 15 points, has one pushing, able to clean that up. That was 3 down in a matter of seconds for Optic.
Cut this flag, and that's going to be 4-1 to Denial. With 35 seconds left, Denial seal the deal. Attached with some phenomenal flag plays.
Denial, that was it. I couldn't think what the organisation was that won champs that year.
When we went to the championship, I did not understand the magnitude of that tournament.
Yo, this is insane. It's like a
This
movie.
is crazy. This is like a movie.
Literally, like we snuck.
Hey, he finally won a tournament! I did not realize that it was the World Championship until after the fact.
I come back, I start doing the school vlogs because everyone knows now. Like, I just won the World Championship. I have a couple of videos where I'm wearing my jersey to school, just hanging out with my friends.
Clay and Attach at the time had just won champs. You were insane, Clay was insane, so I was like, dude, the best duo in the game is knocking at my door, like, trying to play with me. I'm like, yeah, we were trying to make a team that was, like, really good to the point where we can actually go to these events and compete with the Dynasty. Yeah, and the rest was history after that, man. I mean, we made that team, and then we won, what, 3 out of the next 4 events?
Let's find out. Face are going to take the UMG Dallas Grand Final 3-0.
Have the graduation vlog, I have
Like, old Call of Duty just looks so good. Like, I love the CDL, right? But, like, if you could go back in time and watch all the events from, like, 2010 onwards, I think I would, because they just looked so, like, they just looked like the maps were better and the games were better, you know, before then, but...
Hard for you to support me. You know, it is what
I
it
mean,
is.
hey, listen, through watching you, like, in my head, like, I'm always rooting for you.
This is Austin's idea. Some great things we brought over were actually some pictures that
nice.
You could like look at them and then sort of, you know, whatever's going on.
This one.
oh god.
Oh, man, look at us, dude. Look at us, man. What's wrong with us? Bro, we look so different.
So one of his friends from high school made this big head from Dylan when they attended the Call of Duty World Championship.
This is so crazy to look back on with
Remember
Tommy.
Ian getting sick?
You've had a legendary career, and honestly, throughout my whole career, you being right next to me and doing everything you did was like very motivational and inspiring.
Yeah.
So I looked up to you during that time.
Attached and remarkable for that squad.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the cast
You're
on
the
my
cast
hand.
on your
Yeah, this was
This picture is at Yankee Stadium.
And we're just gonna hope for the best. Hopefully I don't suck.
That's the ace for Attach this round. 12-0, a flawless game from him.
This fits fucking insane.
Attach. No time. The wizard is going to find a player. It's Attach with 3.
Most amazing experiences of my life.
We really need to give credit to Attach.
Does it? And he's oh my God! What was the reaction? Oh my God! Attach.
The thrill of competition, when your blood gets going, the adrenaline. Yo, tickle his feet.
The point we finally go, and it's Attach. The long match as Attach somehow stays alive. Trades back and forth. Attach. Watch it down. Oh my goodness!
We've been through it all. We've been through it all.
Bro, give me a hug.
You gotta hug it out.
I fucking
Come
love
on.
you, bro.
We've been through what? Over a decade of Call of Duty.
Bro,
Let's go.
That's actually crazy to
That
think
was good
about,
work.
bro.
That was good work.
Like going back through all that right now, like memory lane was
Yeah.
like.
That wasn't too bad.
How'd I do?
A couple times, right? You're good.
I just want to say thank you guys for everything. You changed my life, you changed my family's life, and I'm very excited to just see where all this goes. Hopefully Call of Duty keeps growing, and hopefully just esports in general keeps changing lives, because it changed mine, and just loved being here. Loved playing Call of Duty every day, playing the new game every single year, calling each game the best Call of Duty of all time. And don't worry, the game after Black Ops 6, not sure what it is yet, but I have a feeling it is going to be the best Call of Duty of all time, so I cannot wait to play it. Thank you to everyone that's been involved in my journey. It's been an absolute pleasure, and if I haven't got to meet you yet, I'm still going to be around at some events, I'm sure, to meet all you, and I'll see you guys in the stream, see you guys at other places, and just thank you for everything. I can't say thank you enough, but I will see you guys soon.
So, after watching that, after watching, like, obviously I haven't watched the full thing, you know, but like based off what I've seen there, I think that, like, I think it just shows how much old Call of Duty is better. Like the friends and like the memories, you barely have that these days because there's not as many events, and a lot of it's online now. It's just not the same. It's just not the same, unfortunately. But it was pretty cool seeing some of the stuff that like that Attach was like, you know, what he went through and like his like in a good way, nothing bad, but like all this good stuff that happened in his life, that his mum supporting him a lot through the Call of Duty stuff, going to the event, stuff like that. It's really good. Really, really good to see. And yeah, I wish him all the best. I do really wish him all the best. So now it's time to talk about the other topic, which is the future of the roundup. So I basically put a YouTube post out a few days ago, like a week ago, saying there might not be as many uploads now. I'm not sure I'm going to do about the roundup, so we're going to kind of mainly just talk about the roundup in this, but there might be a few mentions of other series that we've done on YouTube. So obviously, if you've just noticed, obviously we're doing F1 videos on YouTube, the time trial videos, performance pusher. They'll be uploaded once a week, and obviously but not on a Wednesday. It'll normally just be on a Saturday or a Sunday. Normally a Saturday, sorry, for the round. The roundup will be on a Wednesday. So obviously we wanted to get. Last week I was thinking about making an episode. I had no motivation to make one, but we were going to have a week off anyway, and then we were going to do 4 in a row, including champs review. So 47, 48, 49, 50. So 47 was going to be, I didn't know what I was going to talk about 47. Originally we were going to do the DreamHack stuff, but it was a while ago now, so I didn't bother. So obviously Attach retiring, we thought, well, that can be the topic of this episode. So we did that. And then obviously I needed something else to talk about. So I thought, well, we'll talk about the future of the roundup now. So first of all, so episode 48 is going to be our end of season awards. Now, let me just say, I know I talked about Celium. I had Selim at the top of my ladder, but obviously I can still change that because the award hasn't been officially announced. But it's between him and Scrap for MVP, I think. I do think. So it'll be all our end of season awards. Episode 49 will be champs predictions. Episode 50 will be champs review. Now the champs review last year was an hour and a half. Because obviously it's champs review, it's only once a year. You know, it's just going to have the golden thumbnail as well, like it did for when Optic won champs, when Team Spirit won the CS Major as well. Because obviously a major in Counter-Strike, there's only 2 a year now. They're currently doing the Austin Major, and huge shock as Falcons are 0-2. We can talk about the major in the next episode of the roundup. Whenever it finishes, we'll talk about it in that episode. Maybe if it's in the funnily enough, however though, if it finishes after the champs, after COD champs, it'll have to be after. I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, so at this moment in time, I'm 50-50 if I'm going to do any more after EWC. The reason is, obviously, I don't earn anything off YouTube. That doesn't bother me. Obviously, I have a job. Also, I earn money off Twitch as well, which is obviously just a benefit, really. And I really do enjoy talking about the Call of Duty stuff, but there has been times this year where I've made episodes and I've just not got the motivation to do it. Now, obviously, this is the first year where we've done a full season. You got to remember, we started only halfway through last year's campaign. So, obviously, that is a little different because we're obviously used to doing. We've not done this many episodes in one season before. And we're also doing pre-season and stuff like that. So, yeah, I haven't actually decided what we're going to do yet. I would like to carry on after EWC. Obviously, we're going to have this break anyway after EWC. We're not going to upload any for a couple of months, which is what we did this season, the last season. That might benefit me a lot, and then we get fresh into the next year. I think that's what's probably going to happen anyway. So I think most likely we'll probably carry on the roundup, but there is obviously this thought I do one video a fortnight. That's another suggestion another idea I've got. Except obviously if it's like champs, if it's like major, we could do like the major predictions and then we'll do the major roundup after major review. That's a bit different, but obviously like for the online qualifiers, we could just end up doing it once a fortnight if I decide to do that. Now I don't think I will, but obviously that's just another suggestion, you know. Obviously I love the thumbnails, and they only take me a few minutes to make because it's just a template, but I love making the thumbnails, picking which team, which colours. Obviously, this is the only other time we're probably ever going to have an orange thumbnail again. I know people might have said, oh, you could have made the Heretics orange, but at the time, obviously, I made Heretics white, and I'm going to keep it as white. Yeah, I think that we'll carry on doing it, but obviously episode 48 is going to be end of season awards. Episode 49 is going to be champs predictions. Episode 50 is going to be champs review, which will be over an hour long, I assume, because obviously we're going to do a lot more analysis into each series. You know, like we sometimes only look at the close maps during the normal episodes, but obviously we might look at more stuff in detail, more maps in detail in champs. Obviously, we'll look at the vetoes a lot more as well. Then obviously we're going to have a couple of weeks off because I don't know when EWC is, and then obviously if there's any EWC roster mania, we'll do an episode for that, and then we'll do EWC predictions. Or we might also do challenger champs as well. We might put the challenger champs in the EWC roster mania video. It just depends on when it happens, to be honest. But yeah, that's something that obviously we can look at when we get to it. But yeah, I think at this moment in time we will carry it on, but there is definitely a high possibility that we don't. Now, if we don't, I just want to say a massive thank you, obviously, for the support that we've had on the roundup so far. Obviously, we're going to carry on the rest of the season regardless, but see, we're going to get to episode 50, which is crazy. I've never really had a series on like YouTube that's ever gone this long. And obviously, we were talking about other series earlier. So Spudball, I had a Florian Wirtz video that I was going to record. Just don't have the energy to do it. I can't be bothered to do it. We could still do it because he hasn't actually signed for Liverpool yet. But if we were to do that, that would be uploaded on a Friday. Obviously, we haven't done any Life is Strange or Walking Dead or Lost Records for a while. I'm kind of thinking about potentially for a little bit just uploading 2 a week. So maybe you've got the Roundup and Performance Pusher, the F1 stuff, for a little bit, and then I might bring the Life is Strange and Walking Dead back in July. I don't know. I haven't actually decided that yet, but I do like making I love making the Life is Strange. The Walking Dead stuff's a bit harder to make because you have to play the entire chapter again. Whereas on Life is Strange and Lost Records, you can just pick and choose like a certain scene from a certain part of the game, replay it, and then I can just record that and stick it on YouTube with a thumbnail. Do you know what I mean? And I know that sounds like it's easy to do in lazy videos. Not really, because I enjoy watching the gameplays on other people's channels, so maybe other people feel the same. But yeah, I'm going to call it here because, like I said, it was a pretty short episode. We've obviously gone on longer than I actually thought we were going to, which is completely fine. I don't mind. You know, it's been a good episode. Obviously, a bit of a different one. Because there's literally has been no roster mania. I don't think any team is going to make a roster change, but obviously Champs is like 3 weeks away. The Champs final is in 3 weeks. And at this point, I can't see it being anything other than a FaZe versus Thieves final. But obviously, we'll talk about that in Roundup 49. Oh, by the way, obviously, if we do stop the roundup, I will have to change my YouTube name because obviously, I mean, I'm going to keep it as SpudCDL as the YouTube handle because that's my Twitter handle, and obviously my screens on Twitch, which have my handles, also have that. So I've literally just got them. But obviously, if I do, I don't know what I'm going to call it. If I think it could just go back, I don't know what I'll do with my YouTube name. So obviously at the moment it's Spud and then a hyphen, the roundup and more. It could obviously change to, I don't know, anything. Like it could just be, I don't know. Like that's actually like a big red flag for me to stop the roundup. Would actually be changing that name because I don't know what the hell I'd call it. Because I don't want to call it F1 Spud. I don't want to call it Spud CDL. I don't want to call it Spud. Spud does. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. But to be fair, I said it'd be like a 20-minute episode. It's been 24. So yeah, we'll call it here. This will obviously be out on Wednesday. Thank you very much for watching though. I hope you've enjoyed. Obviously a bit of a different one. Make sure to like. Obviously, I might record episode 48 before this one's even out. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.